Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today I've got an interesting job. This is, as you can see, quite the low-level shag, medium-level shag, I guess. And unfortunately, we've got quite a lot of urine on this carpet. The urine spot right there. That landing is pretty much saturated, and there's a few other spots that, as I was pre-vacuuming, I did discover. So this will be a little bit of a challenging situation, and what I'm going to be doing is I do have ClO2 in the solution at 3,000 parts per million, and I'm actually just turned on my ozone generator as well, so I'm pumping ozone into the solution, give it a little extra boost, and I'm using my brush partly because of this long pile. I want to do a maximum pile lifting on this particular carpet, and I can also penetrate when I feed the solution down a little easier. And so this will be a fun, interesting situation. I don't think it'll be that difficult, actually. These are dog urine, not cat, so. But funny story this morning. Sort of funny, I guess. I was getting ready to head out the door, and I noticed that on my dresser there was a piece of paper. It's actually been there for a few months, and I've been kind of moving it around and not paid a lot of attention to it, but it turns out that it was actually an important piece of paper because it was my license renewal reminder, which I got about 6 months ago, 6 or 7 months ago. I picked it up and I'm looking at it going, oh, I thought I already did that, because I could remember very distinctly going to the license renewal place and getting that dealt with. But then I'm thinking, really? Did I really do that? Turns out I was remembering when I did it 5 years ago. So I quickly opened my wallet, looked at my driver's license, and discovered that, whoopsie, my license expired 6 months ago. So that was a interesting start to the day, and it was actually about, I guess a little after 8 in the morning. My first job's at 9. Anyway, I told my wife, who had some interesting things to say about that, and anyway, we hopped in the car and she drove me over there, and I quickly was able to go in there and really quickly do the whole thing and got my license renewed. Oh dear. My wife's rolling her eyes too. Still. She says, you're supposed to take care of that. Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway. Could have been bad. They don't have a sense of humor about those things. So anyway, I have got a temporary license, and I'm okay to drive. Anyway, so back to carpet cleaning. This carpet is 15 years old. It's actually overall not actually in bad shape, really, other than the urine staining, which is in specific areas, certain spots, mostly not everywhere. So other than that, there aren't actually a lot of stains on the carpet. Now I am cleaning with NanoMAAX, and I've got ClO2 in at 3,000 parts per million, and I did boost it with some omega citrus. It has a little extra deodorizer in there. So between the ClO2 and the ozone and the omega citrus, odor should be pretty much addressed. And any areas where I do find myself running into obvious urine, I will dump more solution down, which I did right at that corner over there, because there was a urine stain there. And the CO2 will address the urine odor, and in most cases it'll take out the urine staining as well, especially at 3,000 parts per million. And this is a nylon, because there's no way in the world that polyester is going to go 15 years and look like this. This one actually doesn't look bad. The steps were pretty matted down, but they came up pretty easily as I was vacuuming. But they'll go right back down again, of course. I remember in the 70s, this was a very common carpet to run across, and even longer ones than this. But and then it kind of made a resurgence about 15 or 20 years ago. But I don't run into it very often anymore. I'm a little surprised to see it here. But that's what we see. No problem. And the brushes, I think, in this case, is the right thing to choose. And by the way, I did another 35-year-old carpet yesterday. And again, it wasn't actually in that bad shape overall. And I used the Vibe on it, and it once again reminded me that I definitely prefer to use the rotary. It's just so much easier to maneuver. But you can certainly clean a carpet with one of those machines, no problem. So, there's another urine stain right there, which I'll be addressing in a sec. And then I've got to drop down onto the landing there, and that's where the worst of it is. Okay. Right on the top of the steps here, I can actually see a couple more urine stains. So, right where the machine is now, you can see I've added quite a bit more solution. It's turning white. I'm purposefully over-wetting. I did bring my little upright extractor in, which I'll be using on the landing for sure, because that landing will be getting pretty wet. She said she had it cleaned, I think she said about 6 months ago, and she said it took a very, very long time to dry. Obviously, the skin cleaners and they probably went real fast and just got it way too wet, and that's not helping. I'm not doing good. I was going to do the bedrooms, but she decided to just focus on these areas today. Okay. Now we're going to turn around and I'm going to go and do the landing. The ozone is turning the solution into bubbles. Okay, we'll drop down the steps. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but yellow staining all over the place. Really obvious right here and over here, and well, pretty much all of it actually. So, and I can now smell it. I could actually smell it. When I run that vacuum over it, I could smell the urine. On my shower feet so I can spin it out the side a little bit better. Get right along the edge. Usually this works almost right away at removing the odor. And I can tell it works really well because when I extract with my little extractor down there, when I stick my nose in the tank after I've extracted, I can usually not smell any urine at all. Even if I leave it overnight in the van, stick my nose in it the next morning, still no smell of urine. So the CO2 is definitely able to do this as long as you get enough into the carpet fibers and contacting the urine wherever it is, which is why this I'm getting it very wet here. And usually you have enough on there. Usually it'll take out the yellow staining as well. And the brush is giving it really good agitation, scrubbing action. I will leave this so that it's set. And head up the steps again. Okay. Alrighty, now we'll use the Ironman. And when I do a carpet like this and I'm getting it over wetter than I normally do, then I will broom it rather than post vacuum it, because if it's too wet, pardon me, then it's going to be an issue with the vacuum. So that's normally what I do when I'm dealing with a lot of urine. It's not exactly standard operating procedure when we are dealing with urine. So now there was a yellow stain there which I cannot see any longer, so that looks good. Looking good. She doesn't intend to keep this carpet very much longer. Apparently, plans to replace it within a few months. So that's kind of why she decided in the end not to do the steps. Fair enough. Or, I mean, the two bedrooms, other two bedrooms it is. So moving along quite smartly, you can see. It's been 15 minutes now. Now the CO2, the way it works is it actually breaks down the urine molecule to its basic elements of carbons and water. And so that's how it works. It removes the odor by destroying the odor molecule and breaks down the urine. And basically it's decaying the urine at a much faster rate than normal because it's an oxidizer, and does so without adding any odor because it's basically odorless. Sometimes you can smell it, bleach the odor, but because I pre-mix it normally, you don't usually smell that. Although I did add powder into here. I have a little container in here and I put hot water in there, dissolved it, and then I added it to the solution. And of course, haven't been adding any solution ever since I switched to the Ironman because I get it wet enough with the brush. Now, let's go back to the beginning and we'll take a look. Take a look and see what the pad looks like. Not too bad, but I'll run over it all again. Side B. I brought two pads up just in case, but doesn't look like I'll be needing to use the other one. Again, there was a yellow stain right there, which is no longer visible. Another yellow stain over here, which I think is gone. Looks like it is. We've got little French bulldogs. Little cute guys, but I guess they're in the habit of pee-peeing on the carpet, and particularly on that landing, so that's not a good thing. So this is going pretty quick, actually. I was a little bit apprehensive when I saw it initially, but it's a nylon, so they usually cooperate pretty easily. I miss nylon. Okay. don't see a lot of it anymore. Actually, no more near like we used to. Back when nylon was about 70, between 70 and 75% of the market was being sold was nylon carpeting. I don't know what the percentage is now, but it's way, way less than that now. See, there's was a very obvious yellow stain right here where I'm at, and can't see it now. And so what I'm going to do is I'll be using the extractor on the landing, and then I'll be using pads on the landing when I do the steps. So that'll be my next thing. I think I'll do the steps next, and then use the extractor on. Kind of leave it till last, I think. Let it sit as long as I can, because we've only been sitting there for, well, less than 20 minutes. I want to have it on there for at least 20 minutes. So I've got to leave it for a while yet before I actually extract it. So anyway, that's where we're at. So I will let you go. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.